lot of people do ask me, how did bark butter come about? And there is a bit of a story there. Nancy and I moved into this woods in the late 80s, and it was fabulous for woodpeckers. We got 4 or 5 different kinds coming in all the time. But after a couple of years, I started noticing, especially in the winter when the leaves were down, I could see them, these little birds I'd never seen before that were going up and down on the trees, and they were brown creepers. Now, what a cool bird. And I know they're eating little insects, so it's very similar to what the woodpeckers do, but they would never come into a feeder. So I thought, I guess I'm gonna have to take the food to them. If they're not gonna come to me with a feeder on my deck, I'm gonna take the food to them. So I started studying different kind of recipes that were available. A lot of times people will just spit out straight peanut butter, but it's really kind of hard for them to eat and to swallow it really easily. So I wanted something that they could just grab a bite of and easily swallow it. So I tried all kinds of different formulas, and I finally came up with what is now called bark butter. And I've got all kinds of mixers and pots and things blowing out of the mixer and trying different formulas. My wife Nancy was very good at understanding that I was on a quest to make a product that was going to get those brown creepers.
It looked like hummus. I dip my cracker in there and say, what the heck is this?
Well, it was full nutrients. You can live on this stuff. So I didn't stop you.
Jim has always had an insatiable desire to create bird feeding products, and he just never gives up, and he just keeps working and working until it's the best.
So one day I was looking out the window, and along comes a brown creeper, and it's eating the bark butter. And then once it worked, well, then I had to keep making it. But it's been a lot of fun, and but we were pretty happy when we finally got it made in a factory and I didn't have to do it in the kitchen anymore. Here we are in 2021, and we have about 155 species of birds that have been observed eating bark butter in one of its forms. And so that's a pretty cool thing, and I do not know of any other single food product that is attractive to that many species of birds, because now it turns every tree into a feeder. Every day the birds have to get a lot of food to make it through the day. So they need it for energy, they need it for building strong bodies, they need it for laying eggs. So one of the things we put in bark butter is calcium. And calcium helps build the eggs, and it helps build the bones. And you add that to all the fats and proteins that are in bark butter, and it really is an all-around food that really helps birds make it through the day, make it through the season, raise families, migrate, all those things they have to do. That's why bark butter can also be an important part in helping save the songbirds. Here's the fun thing with bark butter. So, it's not that hard to bring in, maybe the downy and the hairy and the red-bellied, and they'll come to regular suet products. But have you ever seen a scarlet tanager? Have you ever seen a yellow-rumped warbler? Have you ever seen any of the thrushes come to your feeders? That's really the really cool thing. Now you get the downy and the hairy and the red-bellied and the pileated come to bark butter, and that's really cool too. That's the real joy, I think, that bark butter brings to the bird feeding hobbyist and to your backyards, to see birds. They may have been going through your yard and you just never had an offering that they were interested in. But bark butter is that offering, and they're very interested in it. And so I think to me, that's brought great pleasure to me, that people have gotten to see birds they would never have seen before. Bark butter is just a way to make bird feeding fun.